Okay, guys, what is up? It is Grand Phantom back to you with another playthrough of Benin. So, I had my own run that I was doing for Benin, and I think the last one was actually a live stream. Um, so what I was trying to do in that one was actually that might be a different that might be something different. But there was a run that I was doing on my own. I know for sure. And in that run, I tried to play uh, tall. And basically, what I did was I was continuously slave raiding the countries around me. Um, but I realized that slave raiding does not. You can only get slaves from countries that are of a heretic or heathen religion. So this kingdom of Niri, they are Odinala, and I don't know if I have. I don't know if I have that religion in my country to be able to tell whether or not it's a heretic religion or not. And I don't know if it will show me whether or not it's a heretic religion or not. Let's see. But from what I can understand, because I don't, well, I could just look at the game files and I'd probably be able to determine that. But sifting through all that is not something I really wanted to do, to be honest. So I'm just going off of vibes right now, and the vibes are that you can only extract slaves from heretic slash heathen religions, and it doesn't matter if they're a different culture and whether or not they're discriminated or tolerated or not. I think if you tolerate them, become then they will no longer be slaves. I think. I'm not sure on that. But definitely you can turn them into slaves. Definitely you can them into slaves, or most likely you can turn them into slaves if they are heretic and heathen religion. The problem is we're of the Ise faith, and all of these countries are obviously Ise, or I'm probably saying that wrong. Isese, Isese probably. Yeah, that probably sounds right. All right. So all of these other countries around me, aside from Niri, are of the Isese faith. Now, once you get past Borgu to the west, these are all other uh, West African religions. So we can most likely rate them for slaves. And then obviously the Mali Empire is soon converted to Sunni a while ago, so we can rate them for slaves, but we don't have the power to rate them for slaves. Not yet. But probably once we get to the point where we're rating these lands for slaves, we probably have comparable strength to Mali. But I still don't know. I still don't want to fight them even at that point because the good strategy demands that always fight someone that is significantly weaker than you that you can just boss around unless you have no other choice. Unless strategy demands that you have to fight and win a decisive victory over a comparable opponent. But we want to avoid that as much as possible until we have enough power to just mollywop the Mali Empire whenever we want. Uh, Fighting them is not our goal. Now we're probably going to raid their vassals for slaves once we have enough naval power. But for right now, um, we want to focus on conquering these Issei countries. And probably what I'm going to do is, so my short-term plan is immediately conquer Niri. I should definitely just conquer Niri. I'll probably take West Igbo. I'll probably take this West Igbo province for myself, and then vassalize everything else, and then just straight up vassalize Nupe. Well, I'll probably just take the province of Nupe and let Zazao take this because it's part of their it's predominantly part of their province. Uh, Once we can conquer slash vassalize Nupe and Oyo and also Borgu, then we can start our next phase, which is slave raiding until there's no tomorrow. Like there's no tomorrow. Maybe there is no tomorrow. We'll never know. But we're gonna basically just spam slave raiding uh, until I feel like stopping, basically. And part of it is to increase the population of Benin, and the other part of it is just to increase our population in general because we only have almost 400,000, less than 400,000 pops. So we're going to need to improve that if we want to have, if we want to be able to lord over all of West Africa and keep the foreign colonizers from taking what rightfully belongs to the Benin Kingdom, the Benin Empire. So, this is the first year. Let's start doing what we're going to do. As far as rivals, I'm gonna do Nitty if I can find them. I know they're here somewhere. There they are. Just because it helps us build, I'm pretty sure it helps build our spy network faster. Because they're a rival, yeah. We're also going to rival. I don't want to rival both Nupe and Oyo because I don't want them to ally one another. I want Oyo to be friendly. And since Oyo is, actually, let's take a look. They haven't selected a rival, but I'm certain that Oyo is going to rival one or both of these countries and probably try and conquer these territories because they're way smaller. We're not going to allow them to do that because that's territory that we want. At least that the plan is not to allow them to do that. I think I want to conquer Nupe first before I conquer Oyo. They're both going down. They're both going the way of the dodo in the long term. But we're gonna take Nupe first. Out of those two, Nupe will be the first to go. Whether or not I want to conquer these smaller states here, specifically North Benin, the North Benin province, I don't know if I want to take those before I take these. But another thing that I plan to do when I conquer Niri is I'm going to transport all of the tribesmen into Benin because that's going to give us a better, stronger army that we can use, and we should be able to get we should be able to get tribal cavalry. Villagers. I don't care for that. So it shows you what the pops will turn into. Oh wait, I'm looking at peasants. I should be looking at tribesmen. They should be. That's strange. Maybe I just need to import horses. It may be the case that I need to import horses in order for these tribesmen to become tribal cavalry. So that's going to be something that we do. Import. If I can find them. Did I pass by it? There it is. We're gonna import horses and see if that doesn't convert some of our guys into tribal cavalry. We're gonna hope that it does. So we already got the spy network built so that we can begin our rapid expansion goals. Um, let's finish rivaling. I think our big bad for most of the early game is going to be Canaan if they don't fracture into a million bajillion pieces. And then our next big bad should be in the late early game, if that makes sense, is going to be the Mali Empire. And we're probably just going to be raiding them for slaves unless we really feel like taking over everything. I haven't figured out what I want to do at that point, but let's rival Canaan. And then religious aspects. I usually like to go with monthly prosperity. Population growth. I don't think it's just. I don't think it's strong enough. I don't think this is strong enough for me to go for this. Monthly prosperity, like the value is just better. It's just a better value as opposed to 0.01% population growth. It's unless I already had a lot of population, that might be more useful, but as it is now with only 400,000 pops, I don't see this as being as useful as either this or monthly prosperity. Stability and investment efficiency is would actually be pretty good because you can stack that with this. You can stack that on top of other stability and investment efficiency bonuses, so that it's not as costly to get your stability to raise your stability up to 100, or just get it up higher than you can usually get it without the decay being a problem. So yeah, we're gonna go with monthly prosperity. As far as monthly reforms, what we need to do is think about what our strategy is as far as social values. And right now, the thing that I want to focus on, plutocracy is probably number one, but also naval, because we need naval we need naval to improve our trade with Mali, even though they're going to be a big antagonist for us for a good portion of the game. We we are going to need to trade with them until we start getting into the European territories. If we start fighting Mali, it might be worth it to fight the Mali Empire, even though even when we're like, they can still fight us band for band, I guess. it might be worth it to fight them just to steal their maps so that we can get all this um, all of this revealed so that we can start trading with the Europeans and selling our fine cloth. Seeing as we don't have anything else valuable. Well, we do have the amber. We do have the amber, which we could lean on that. So we have amber here. We have saffron here. We could lean on all of these things, actually. Yeah. Um, but that being said, going back to our values, we're probably going to focus on getting plutocracy up. Um, it's going to be a uphill battle, given that, well, we're probably going to aggressively start changing out these laws. The policies we're not going to be able to change. Well, this policy we're not going to be able to change until we get the nobles' power down, which will take a little bit for us to do, but it is worth doing. So, with that being said, let us get trade office networks for the monthly plutocracy. Um, and then we have the laws. Obviously, we're gonna go martial society and education, balanced court. So I was gonna go itinerant court and just start doing the thing where you just build a few megalopoli. It's not a bad idea even now. Granted, I have to secure I'm going to have to secure a lot more food, and we're not going to get a lot of food out of here. Neri has some foods, has one, two food RGOs, and there's some food RGOs here. I don't think that what we have currently is going to be sufficient. Well, it might be. I might be underestimating the Benin province. But I mean, if you add like two megalopoli, one megalopoli is going to eat up a lot of food. Two is going to eat up that much more. So I want to make sure that we don't overdo it, that we don't put too much strain on our food production. So, but we're definitely gonna make sure that we get this megalopoli up and running as quickly as possible. Um. Anyway, uneducated masses will increase our equilibrium with the nobles. Let's see how much. Let's look at the nobles and let's automate some stuff for now. Nope, we're not. We're gonna. Yeah, we're gonna. For now, we're gonna leave clergy taxes on. Eventually, once we aren't in the red, once we have a decent amount of income, we're going to reduce taxes for the clergy back down to zero, so that we could take advantage of the increased monthly research uh, progress, because we're most likely going to be behind for most if not all of the early game. Automate commerce tax, and we're gonna leave tribes at 0 because they don't collect any taxes at all, so it's not even worth taxing them. They're better off. You're better off just using them for the extra levies. That being said, we are going to want to increase the levy size for the tribes, but I don't think we need to do that right this minute. Actually, we may need to do that because how much? Cause they have 4,000 levies, and we have a total of 5,000. It's it's a little too much. It's a little too much actually. They have a little. It's a little too comparable to our own, so we're probably going to immediately, almost immediately. We're just gonna do it right now. Nobles are gonna be a little upset, but they'll be fine. All right. Which brings us back to education of the masses. I I would I like to have literacies, particularly for burghers and peasants. Is also I think peasants increases. I think peasants just increase RGO. It might be laborers that increase pop promotion speed. But they all have. I'm pretty sure they all have useful bonuses with increasing with literacy. However, what we need now is money because right now we have negative. Now that's not going to be. It's not going to be as bad once once the next month rolls over because right now we have the -3 from trade. That's the trade expenses are ridiculous. But once that's the next month ticks over, it should be positive. But right now we want to extract as much taxes from the nobility as we possibly can because they have the most taxable income. We have not obviously we haven't done anything with the we haven't improved the buildings for the burgers, so they're going to be secondary. So our main focus is nobility. That being said, we are still going to once we have the laws, once we get a chance to change the laws, we're going to switch to favoring the wealthy simply because it increases plutocracy progress, and that's going to help us reduce the power of the nobility. And yeah, so let's just go and get. I can change it. Uh, I want to go to centralization. I just prefer to. I just prefer to have centralization over decentralization. Even though I know like there's a you get equilibrium bonuses from max decentralization, and it's pretty sizable. But I would rather be centralization. It's just a it's just a personal preference of mine. I'd rather have uh, total and absolute control, absolute rulership, you might say, over the country. So let's go uneducated masses for the equilibrium, and let's go itinerant court, because I do think I want to uh, try having multiple megalopoli. So I think I'm gonna have one here, obviously in Benin, and I may either have one here in the same province, or here in this is actually part of the West Igbo province. It's not the El Zoro province. Um, and I might want to put a megalopoli here, so that I can continue to grow cotton, which should continue to increase my cotton, uh, my spinners guilds. It'll improve the productivity of my spinners guilds, which will help me make profitable tailors guilds, which I will be selling for a profit. All right, and then as far as research goes, the first thing I want to research is light cavalry power. I do not think that we will research that before we go to war, because I want to go to war as soon as I am able. But we'll see how it goes. And we are unmarried. We need to have a son. I'm not going to marry a lowborn. What I'm going to do is click the country, go to characters, and look for, ooh, a gifted. I like that. We're going to make her probably, let's go administrative. Now I don't know, what I don't know right now is if the stats of the parents, um, if a portion of the stats from the parents goes to the offspring. I'm not sure how that works. It could be like, it might be a random thing for the offspring stats, but going off how it is in Crusader Kings, I'm going to assume, since I have no reason, it's not a negative for me to assume otherwise, I'm going to assume that the skills carry over. And we favored her, so as soon as she turns 16, we can marry her off to our king and have a super baby. That is our goal, to have a super baby. Anyway, what else do we have to worry about? I guess our next thing that we're going to do is build a spinners guild. Maybe build 2 spinners guild. And end up I might end up trading the spinner trading some cloth in the market to try and boost up the keep high prices for the cloth that I'm producing, even though right now it's already at a high cost. But that's going to that was going to quickly, the prices are quickly going to go back down. Alright, I think that's everything. Oh wait, let's do some cabinet things. As soon as we conquer Neri, we're going to migrate the tribesmen over into Benin so that we can have more pops, but specifically for the short term, better infantry, well, better levies. Specifically, I want to see if I can get some tribal cavalry, and I think, I'm unsure, but I think you get tribal cavalry through um, actually having horses for them to actually use, which makes sense. Let's increase the time scale and let's Begin. Oh, it's already 6. Coolio. Coolio. Now let's see if we actually get some horses at all. Oh, I keep forgetting to do that. We're going to... I think for now we're just going to increase province control to get a little bit more cash. And we're also going to... Yeah, I guess maybe assimilate pops. That should be fine. And assimilating pops does not... What's good for us because we don't really want to get rid of our tribesmen because we need those tribesmen for our military. So assimilating does not affect tribesmen. They do not. I'm pretty sure they don't have. Yeah, they don't convert at all. So they don't convert or assimilate. So good for us. And there's the event for the founding of Dahomey. Yeah, good for them. We got new neighbors. Fantastic. Doesn't look like we've got any horses, but let's just check and see if we got any tribal cavalry. Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. Tragically. And Canaan rivaled us, which makes sense because we rivaled them. And right now we're just waiting until our spy network gets big enough that we can just outright we can launch our war against the well, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while for us to actually get to war because once we get the spy network to 20, then we're gonna have to do the cleanse heresy CB, which is about 2 years. Let's see if we can get anything useful done in the meantime. Uh, Lumber would probably be something nice, but it costs too much for us right now, unfortunately. We don't have masonry. Okay. All right. Well, let's improve that. And masonry is something that we're gonna have to focus on building up, simply because we're going to need that for when we build the megalopolis here. We're also gonna need to build up our glass guilds. Problem is, I don't know how we're gonna create demand for that, but I am looking. A distiller's workshop. That's not useful at all. Medical school. Nope. Nope. Library. Distillers guild. Hmm. And the temple. There's not a lot of stuff where there's not a lot of things that we can use early to create a big demand for glass. We got those spinners guilds built, so prices should be dropping down. It'll drop down to 147. So we'll probably wait until it gets to like 2, and then we'll start exporting this cloth for profit, hopefully. I could be using our cabinet to increase plutocracy, but the base increase for that is like 15 or 17, and right now we still have 10 going in the opposite direction, so it's not going to be a quick process. I mean, it's not going to be a quick process anyway, but yeah. And prices are slowly going down. What's the base price? 3. Yeah, I think we're gonna wait until it goes below, the price goes below 3, and then we'll start um, exporting it to try and mitigate the falling rate of profit. Robber barons, I don't care for that. What I should care about is the fact that I am not, I have not increased the power of the burgers, because there's some easy plutocracy progress right there. And I chose the nobility in that event because I know that I'm going to be reducing, making them unhappy with these picks. Let's also, I don't care for that. Levy combat efficiency is nice. Peasants training grounds, monthly manpower. That's probably nice. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that. Jesus Christ, that reduced the happiness of the nobility down significantly. Let's see about the clergy. This will probably be good. Promote culture unit is going to be something we're going to want, because what we're going to end up doing is is increasing the amount of Edo culture, of people of the Edo culture in our country, so that we can eventually get to forming an empire. Because the prerequisite, I believe, for an empire is that you need, so you can have at least a total of 10 million, which I don't think we have at all. We don't have a full 10 million in West Africa. Or we can have 5 million, which is about which is close to the amount of people in West Africa, and turn them into a primary culture or accepted culture. Or 7.5, that, and they're all of the primary religion. So there's that, and then the 70 prestige thing. Let's. Price is still going down. Let's build another Spinners Guild, and also let us begin exporting cloth. Trippy. We could do manorial courts, but I don't know if I don't know if that's going to be worth it. A 5% increase in maximum tax, a 50% increase in uh, in political power. I don't know if it'll reduce if the increase in their political power is gonna be a net positive as far as income. So that's something I'm unsure of. Because right now our primary concern is getting some plutocracy progress. So they're going to favor the wealthy. Actually, before I do that, what about the I need to make sure that. So if we take away nobility controlled mining, which is giving us monthly progress to aristocracy, and trade that in with burgers controlled mining operations, which gives us bonus monthly progress to plutocracy, that's actually twice the amount of monthly progress because we're getting rid of the malice and getting rid of the malice and also at the same time improving the progress. So it's actually double. This amount is actually double effectively. So let's go with that. And we don't care about succeeding in that parliament issue. We just want okay. So the price has gone down. The price has increased. The target price has increased. Our current price is still going down, which I want to make an effort to continue to increase. One thing I should do. One thing I should do is revoke trade monopolies. That's going to be a minus 40 hit to their satisfaction, but we can bring it back up with some other things. So let us kill that. So we have a bit more trade capacity before we have to start building marketplaces. And let's do treasury rights because we need money. Okay. Ooh, we still gonna need a little bit more to get us back in. Go negative in our with our trade because it's not a lot. It's not we're not getting a lot of income from trade right now. So if we go negative with our cloth trade, it should be fine if it can stabilize the prices to something that we can utilize. But I think we're going to want a marketplace so that we can increase prices a bit more. And then we can just build a marketplace. Once we get it to a level that we prefer, we can just alternate between building spinners guilds and marketplaces. Spinners guilds, marketplaces, and that should help us improve our economy. We want to get to building up our tailors guilds. But for now, we're going to focus on cloth, and we'll probably just trade our what we have, the trade orders we have for cloth, and we're gonna convert it into tailors guilds so that we can improve the profitability of the tailors guilds, and we have more profit. Yada yada yada. We got 9 more months until we're ready to attack the kingdom of Neri, and we should be able to get our light cavalry power bonus, even though it doesn't look like we're gonna get any tribal cavalry, unfortunately. Definitely an unfortunate turn of events, but it is what it is, I suppose. Because the horses are, it looks like they're in, oh, these are in Kano. So it will behoove us actually to take control of um these places so that we have access to the horses, or we couldn't at least deny um our competitors access to these horses. Because I think if we start a war with them, then we automatically stop trading with them. If I'm if I'm correct, if I remember correctly. So it may be better to beeline. We're definitely still gonna invade Neri, take their land, and then we'll probably take Nupe. Mampurgo's attacking. Okay, that's fine. That's actually fine because they're a different religion, so we can use the Cleanse Heresy CB on them if they actually beat Borgu. Because I think at this point we would have to use a parliament to actually conquer these Eastern nations, I believe. Yeah, we're gonna have to use parliament to actually get some of this stuff done, which I'm totally fine with. For right now, what we want to maximize is military power and expansion. So, what's the prices now? All right, have the target price. I actually want to first. Actually, let's increase our trade capacity just a little bit more. And now, let me think. Let me think. Let me think. Those are regiments. I don't need that right now. Mailed knights would be nice, but oh no 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 no! I don't need that. Let's get monthly legitimacy, so that we can start decreasing our payments for cost of court. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that we can take from the Age of Traditions. All right, cool, cool, cool. And we'll be able to declare war the next month. So let's ask for extra levies. And let's declare war. And we can also, I don't think it matters, but we can also call an emergency parliament. No garrison law. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be that. And then we go to favor the wealthy for more plutocracy. And see, now we actually have a decent amount of plutocracy progress, so we can probably start. Well, we're definitely going to be using our cabinet to do other things. What I may do is conquer, uh, conquer these lands, take their people, and then release the land as a vassal. Once I've gotten, once I've plundered, once I've plundered the country of its people. What else do I want to do before I start this war? I don't think there's anything else I want to do. You know, now that I think about it, I can do a Freetown charter, which will increase burger power, even though it will bring down our local crown power by 50%, which is not cool. But also, the burgers' power would probably be best to do that to rapidly increase the burgers' power, and I can always revoke this at a later point, and then we also have the trade capacity, which is always nice. I don't like losing crown power like this, but I think this might be worth it. And we still have a positive income. As long as we have positive income, trade income, we're not losing money. It's worth it to keep increasing cloth export, and then we get more money from the actual taxation of these spinners guilds. And what would that bring? I think we're gonna have to wait another tick or so. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I have an OCD about these things. Let's redo this. Cloth. 3, 4, 5. And then we'll build another marketplace. I'm sad we weren't able to get. Wait, we got noble cavalry. Well, it's not tribal cavalry. Yeah. What we want is tribal cavalry. Oh, no. What's going on here? Don't tell me. Oh. Oh, that's probably why. Let's get somebody good. Like our king. Army morale, discipline. Yeah, let's use this guy. Now that we have more morale. Okay, that's better. That's much better. They don't have any cavalry while we do. Granted, our cavalry is not in the front line for some reason. It doesn't make sense. The cavalry should be the first in the fight. But we are mollywopping them handily. So, can't be mad at that. Let's go here. Let's do this. Just gonna take this out. Ah, delicious pops. And money. I love money. We'll probably force them to we'll probably force them to surrender or unconditionally surrender. They're probably going to unconditionally surrender before we can get some more of these slaves. Well, it looks like they're gonna take this spot, so it might save them from capitulating, which is fine by me because I want more of these slaves. And they're going to die handily. And now we can take this. So what you can do, um, if you're looking to just steal slaves from a country, you could just take a province and then let them take it back and then wait a little bit and then you can take their you can take their you can just continuously keep taking more slaves. But I'm not sure how long that takes. What's the cooldown for um being able to get more slaves? It has to be like a few months, several months, somewhere around that level. Let us increase our cloth exports. And then tannery is, I'm very tempted. No, target price is going down. Never mind. Not worth it. Why is the price going down? Why do you betray me? Let's increase it some more. This will be more effective once we can start getting more cell efficiency. Right now, the trade land efficiency is also increasing our profits a great deal. Um, I see. I see. All right, and it's the age of Renaissance. So, personally, I definitely want to do some conquering, so it may be useful to get to go military focus, and I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. And we're just going to don't care for that. This will be nice, but I'd rather focus on getting all of this. Now, are we actually going to be able to get all of this stuff before? Okay, they capitulated. All right, let's get our money, and then we're going to take West Igbo. We're gonna have to have them dismantle that fort, or I guess we can't make them dismantle the fort. We're also going to make them into a. It might be better to just fully annex them. Nah, we're gonna take their land and then make them a vassal. I think we get more money from them that way. We're going to humiliate them. I would try and make them force convert, but it doesn't look like that's gonna be in the cards for us. Cause I want everything else. So yeah. All right, let's immediately start stealing their population. Yes, indeedy. Let's disband levies. I should have been building a spy network, honestly. Uh, is Borgu a vassal? They are still at war with Memprugu. They have no allies. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and beeline towards the horses so that we have control of that. Although it looks like Borgo's just going to. No, no, no. Yeah, Borgo's just gonna conquer them. I thought that. I guess they probably started that war. It is what it is. Yes, yes. Give me your tribesmen. Give me all of your tribesmen. But I still want to turn into tribal cavalry. So we're negative with our. Let's what we get from this cotton? Not a lot. Well, it's a decent amount. Is it worth spending all of our money on? Probably not. And I don't think that I want to. Yeah, we're gonna leave that there. We're gonna make a spinners guild. We're gonna make another marketplace. I could have borrowed some money so I could build some more cotton, because I think the price of cotton is interfering with our cloth profits. Which is not ideal. Does Mali already have feudalism? Do they have it embraced? Okay. So let's. I'm actually not making any money, which is problematic. Let's. Well, we can just get rid of that for one. This is not making us any money. None of this is making us any money. We're definitely getting rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Yeah. I want to go to forced slave conversion because we want to eventually turn these slaves into productive citizens. Because I don't care for slavery. I really don't. But it is useful for the purpose of getting population. So I grit my teeth and I bear with it. Let's see, current price. Target price is still going down. Okay, that works for me. Okay, target price is going up again. That's good. I want to see if I can get the price up to like 3, but we should probably try and get cotton prices back down because that's starting to grow. But right now, why is our taxes from the nobility so? Alright, because our crown power got reduced and the nobility took the power for themselves. Oof. We're probably going to need to yeah, as soon as we finish siphoning all of the population, most of the population from West Igbo, we're gonna start pushing towards plutocracy at a rapid pace. I mean, it's going down, but we need to get this down fast. Let's bring fort maintenance down. Yeah, trade expenses are getting a little problematic. I was hoping that the spinners guilds would that I could maintain a decent level of prices for cloth, which is going up actually. It's definitely going up. That's probably because the tailors guilds are coming back up, kept coming back online. Mhm. That's what it is. So technically, what we could do is start. Well, we're not getting enough profit to justify building another tailors guild, but with enough profitability with the tailors guild, we could probably maybe able to do it now. Let's see. May be able to do it now. What is the price looking like? Alright, let's stop that. I think because the price is going down, is dwindling. So let's try. Let's reduce price down here and do fine cloth. Alright, that might help us. So, price is going back up. I like this. And maybe we're probably gonna have to take a loan. Multiple loans. Yeah, the our maximum taxes are horrendous for the nobility. Tragic. It's fluctuating. And I think I have an idea why. The prices are just going down I think what's happening is the prices, their cloth production is low, so whenever they trade, the prices the price changes are more steep because they don't have a lot of cloth production. If I could maintain a high amount of trade of cloth, then they would be depending on me more for cloth, and it would be more stable. But as I don't have an economy strong enough to maintain that, maintain it to that point, we're not getting anywhere, unfortunately. And it's very frustrating. What do we have? Oh, Borgo's been taken out. Sick. Oh, our prices of cloth are going down. Let's see. The prices in Kano are going down 2.22. Yeah, we should be able to increase prices. We gotta be very deliberate about this. Prices in Bago are going down. Okay, so let's go here. I'm gonna let's increase that, and then we're going to export more to Bago. To Bago. Alright, cool. How's our food prices looking? Not great. I may. Well, we're gonna increase serfdom, uh, but we're definitely not doing that. We're going to fabricate a casus belli in Nupe. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Okay. Prices are stable. Except for Bago, it's crashing. And Kano is crashing. Yeah, let's start putting uh let's start putting people on the neck. We're gonna have to start stepping on people's toes. I don't think. Yeah, the clergy aren't allowed because of our parliament type. It doesn't allow the clergy to be do those things, those stuffing things. Let's do this. And we're gonna have to hope for something better. Absolutely not. Well, that wasn't going to get to where we needed to be, tragically. I don't know. And it's April 1st. Alright, guys, let's call it here. Um, things have not gone how I wanted them. Excuse me. Things have not gone how I wanted them to go. It. We're not doing horribly, but we're in a bit of a pinch. Money is very tight, very, very tight, and we have made a couple of mistakes that is going to hinder our ability to get where we want to be as quick as we want it to be. So we're probably going to have to end up taking over oil, but we can't just declare war on them and take their territory because we don't have a CB to do that at the moment. Um, there's also the issue of these people rising up because they are getting support, like control. Yeah, it's not good. It doesn't look good. I mean that realistically we could fight this off. Truth be told, what we are having trouble fighting off is our economy crumbling under the oppression of the nobility. And I'm loath to give them more privileges and reduce our ability to tax them even more. I don't know if this is going to be worth it. There's a lot to do. There's much that needs to be done. What we may end up doing so that we can get more so we can pay off our interest, what we may end up doing is just having a bunch of tiny wars with these other countries here and getting some war reparations and also just money in general from them, like we're about to do. Yeah, so that we can just start paying this stuff off. And we're just gonna have to incrementally work our way back up to work our way back up to a level that is where we can start growing our economy again, because we've got it to the point where we're now at a grinding halt, which is not good. We need to be able to almost constantly grow our economy, and if we're stuck trying to worry about food shortages, and which we've resolved, and um, interest from our loans, it's going to reduce our ability to improve our economy. But we'll worry about that at a later time. So, with that said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like, if you appreciate what I'm doing here, if you have something to say or some advice or tips on what I should do next. though I do have a plan. But any other additional information that you can provide me would definitely be appreciated. So, with that said, I'll see you next time.